don't know me. How do you just put my name down? How do you just put anybody's names down? I don't know her, never seen her. Still to this day, haven't talked to her. And it just proved out that the baby has no ties to my name. Thankfully, the lady did bring the child in to get tested. And that's all I needed to happen.
Imagine you are actually married. Or for those of you who are afraid of marriage, in a serious relationship. You're at the house one day and you get a knock on the door. You open the door and somebody hands you a letter. And it's a letter from the courts. The courts say, hey, listen, you are the father of some kid. Now, you open the letter with your wife. Just think of how that might be. Your entire wife. And your wife is looking at you in disgust because she feels like you have cheated on her. And you're telling your wife you don't know anything about this. And you don't. But your wife doesn't understand that. So then you find yourself having to fight this whole situation, guys, with this lady who put your name on a birth certificate that did not know you. You've never met her. Could you believe this could ever happen? Or would you believe that this is something that's made up? Well, let's play this clip for Fox Detroit and we'll kind of come back.
Kelly, thank you. One man's life going through some unnecessary legal drama. This after receiving a letter that he had fathered a child with a woman he'd never even met. Now, vindication of sorts. It's a follow-up to a story I brought you earlier this year on his legal fight and what comes next.
She don't know me. How do you just put my name down? How do you just put anybody's names down? I don't know her, never seen her. Still to this day, haven't talked to her. And it just proved out that the baby has no ties to my name. Thankfully, the lady did bring the child in to get tested. And that's all I needed to happen.
This letter from friend of the court reads in part, Dear Mr. Smith, enclosed is a copy of the genetic test results, excluding you as the father.
Let's just set the record. I trust my husband because I know his character. Man of integrity.
I would like to say relief, but it's kind of like confirmation, really, because I already knew that I had no ties and no links to this child or this woman. And to have that letter come to my house, it was a little unnerving, but not from the standpoint of being caught up in something. It was a little unnerving that, a letter like this could come to my house having no legitimacy to it.
We first brought you the story of DeAngelo Smith in late January when he presented some wild allegations against friend of the court in Berrien County. The initial letter sent to his home stated, a woman who we are not naming alleging him to be the father of her daughter, a child between the age of 1 and 2 years old.
She's a stripper from Detroit. We had a one-night stand at some hotel that we supposed to have been and went to, and this is a story that was told to me.
While playing the waiting game for the alleged mother to bring in the baby for a DNA sample, the school where DeAngelo Smith teaches received an inquiry for possible garnishment if things did not go in his favor.
Where it made it not something that was being alleged, now it's something that's being taken into action, and there's no paternity been established.
But clearly, these test results confirm that to no longer be the case.
With that being said, strong marriage or not, clean past or not, that's a very tough letter for anyone to receive.
Absolutely.
Without any proof.
Absolutely, it is. It is. The main things that they have to provide to the state of Michigan is a name and a birth date and where they live. That's easy information for someone to gather off of Google, off of Facebook, off of any kind of social media platform.
People who have checkered pasts, who have done things in the past, who have, stepped out and did things that was unbecoming of a real man, right? And so but they've changed and they've cleaned up their act and they've gotten better, which all of us have the opportunity of doing or getting better. But a letter like this coming to that house, a man that has changed his ways, that has walked in a different direction, this letter could be absolutely devastating because of what you've done before.
We made several calls to lawmakers in Lansing who are familiar with this particular topic to get some answers.
It's very unfortunate, but paternity fraud is not a unique, unusual situation in Michigan.
Senator Jim Runstead tells me he's been pushing for new legislation on the matter during the past 8 years, saying right now there's no penalty for lying.
Senator, what was the opposition for not passing this kind of legislation?
Well, maybe it would hinder mothers who don't want to name a particular guy or they made a mistake, but you had to knowingly name the wrong person. It becomes emotional stuff.
Respectfully, to mandate that DNA testing for the child is conducted first before a letter is sent to someone's home alleging they may be the father of a child regarding a woman whom they have never met, doesn't that seem like common sense type of legislation?
I tell you, Joshua, the common sense goes out the window. I'd be more than happy to put that bill in, and I'm telling you, it wouldn't even get a hearing in committee. I'll guarantee it wouldn't even get a hearing in committee. I ran across this before.
And the only reason I believe that this woman came in was because of Fox 2. Fox 2 provided a platform where the word got out, and this word spread it like wildfire quickly to the point where the lady came in. Now, I asked the courts, the friend of the courts, about bringing her in. They said, well, we just have to wait until she comes in. But I thank God that Fox 2 provided a platform where the lady was able to come in, but everybody does not have that opportunity for Fox 2 to show up at their doorstep to help them out.
You see, that's Mr. DeAngelo Smith, who's a teacher, married to his lovely wife, and this is a stripper who has never met him, saying that they had a one-night stand at some hotel. So this man is basically with his wife, Tahavia Smith, and she's just, hoping that this isn't true. And what did the senator say? That, look, if you do this, there's nothing that can punish the lady. All right? And this is what I want to play here, right? And this is something coming from Donovan Sharp and Just Brody Things. But they get it like right here when they talk about the fact that women do this because they can never get caught. Let's play that clip.
It's so common.
What do I think? What's so common?
Like false accusations.
Because there's no repercussions for false accusers. Mm-hmm. That's why. This is why women continue to make false accusations, because they're not being punished for making false accusations. Andrew Tate. I was on Fresh and Fit, and Myron found video of the girls who claimed that they were Andrew Tate after the time that they said that he was dancing and twerking.
What?
Yes, you gotta watch that. Like, dude, we dispelled all of that bit by bit by bit. It's all a hit job. This is Andrew Tate, top G.
Right.
This guy doesn't have to anybody. He's got girls lined up around the block trying to get into his mansion. Mm-hmm. There is no reason for him to forcibly have sex with another woman when women want to do it already. Anytime a woman accuses a rapper or an athlete or a public figure of it really, I'm not going to say that none of them are true, because there's the Darren Sharper situation. That was really bad. There was Kellen Winslow, et cetera, but a lot of these, like a good amount of these, are false. So you mean to tell, and it's funny, the story's all the same. We say, well, why didn't you go to the cops? Well, because I was ashamed. Oh, wait, so let me get this straight. You didn't want to go to the cops, but you're comfortable with sharing your harrowing story with your 27,000 Twitter followers? Fuck out of here.
I agree. Yeah. That was the one thing that red pilled me doing the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just generally thought when women like said things like that serious that it was true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the more and more girls that I had on the show, that they would say they're these stories.
I was abused. Then you start asking questions.
I would immediately believe them. But then someone.
So Senator Jim Runstead says he has been pushing new legislation on the matter for the past 8 years. Currently, there is not a penalty for lying on a DNA test, and is not required before a person is contacted about the paternity of the child. So you can do this. You can Google somebody's name, just put their name blindly on the child support thing, and just say basically, you know, on the birth certificate, this is your child. And there's nothing that you can do about it. So guys, when I'm talking about these issues, a lot of brothers is talking about, like, you see, a lot of men got to understand the playbook. When we're sitting here complaining about the things going on with women, and we're not lobbying and making laws, we don't have businesses, we don't have power, we don't have buying power like we should, we don't have political power like we should. You see, these things is when you can't influence the media. You don't have your own media. You can't make enough noise, organized noise, because the guy said, look, if it wasn't for Fox covering my story, I wouldn't be able to get it out. That's the difference. When you don't have media, you can't express yourself. You can't express what's going on when you don't have media. That's the one thing that women have. Women have media. So if it happened to them, they can get it out. But because you don't have your media, you can't get it out. So then without media and you can't get things out, you don't have power. So then you can't change laws and you suffer because of this. This is what I've been trying to explain to brothers the whole entire time. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.